Hello, I'm Lynn Onstot with the City of Joplin, and I welcome you to Joplin Insider, a show designed to give you current news and programs about Joplin. Today, my guest is Patrick Tuttle. He's the director of our Convention and Visitors Bureau for Joplin. Hi, Patrick.
Good day. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here. I always enjoy visiting with you. You always have so much going on in the CVB. The acronym CVB, we know it as the Convention and Visitors Bureau, but you're involved in so many different activities. Of course, we're looking at the holiday season right now.
Holiday time.
Yes.
Actually, we have nothing going on for the holidays.
You know,
no,
nothing.
We're nothing. But we do a project called Holiday Experience, where we pull all the area things in together and market them for the community. It's the one time that, you know, the CVB's job is really promoting Joplin outside the area, not so much internally. But this time of year, it really does us good. A lot of the visitors in town are people who are coming into town to shop or eat or participate in other events. So we package Holiday Experience, and that's all the key events that are going on that we know of in the holiday time frame within Joplin and some of the surrounding area as well.
Well, I know, when people have, family guests coming in, they want to know something that's going on in Joplin, so you do a great job with that year-round, but you're right, that we have more people coming into town during this holiday season, during this season because of the holidays, so it is good to package that. What type of activities are being planned?
Well, those are the traditional things we have going on, which we call Holiday Experience, and that is the Christmas parade will be happening on December 2nd. We have the revealing of the City Hall windows, which will be on November 20th at 6 p.m. Right behind that will be the lighting of the Christmas tree down in Spiva Park, so that's a great night. So that's coming up pretty quickly. And in fact, all of us on the first floor will lose half of our offices because of the windows.
And
so
we do appreciate that.
It's a great sacrifice to do that.
Yes.
But that'll be on November 20th, and this year's theme is a storybook, if I recall right.
For the parade, a storybook.
Yeah, storybook.
Yeah.
And the windows have got some, I've seen a lot of kids.
The windows are the villages. They have someone donating for that time period. They're bringing in villages. Somebody has a collection of all the different kinds of villages.
All I just noticed was a lot of children things going in there. So
yes,
it's going to be
and then
very exciting windows.
The library. They're also kind of providing a salute to the library like they did the Mining Museum last year.
See, I'm right there, and I'm surprised.
Well,
by
that's
the
because
whole
they're
thing.
keeping it behind the scenes. That's why
right.
we have the reveal, right? The 20th, so everyone can come see.
Yeah, so we invite everybody downtown at 6 p.m. at City Hall on the Thursday, the November 20th, and see that. It should be a lot of folks in town for Thanksgiving because it's getting to be that weekend as well, and it'll be a good time.
Sure.
And then we roll into the Christmas parade, and this is going to be unique this year because Freeman Hospital has taken it on as a project. We've had the JCs for years, and the JCs group has disbanded, so we did a search and found that Freeman Hospital stepped up as a volunteer to do that. So they've got some exciting things going, a great theme. They got a lot of new entries, and luckily, I think the part I like about the parade is they've got a hold of all the school bands. So I like
that's what I've been hearing, that there are going to be a lot of bands. I just want to remind viewers, if you're just tuning in, I know we're talking about some dates for the holidays, but some of these events will be going all the way through the New Year. So please watch the whole program. We want you to not change the channel, listen, because Patrick's got not only going to talk about holidays, but also the upcoming year.
Sure.
So,
well, also, at that point, though, Lynn, I'd say if you're on Facebook, go to Holiday Experience, and you'll see the living calendar there of all the activities going on, or go visit joplinmo.com, which is our website, and you'll see the calendar on there with a lot of different activities. So that's really important information because throughout the entire season, things pop up.
Sure.
We may not know them today, but they'll pop up later on.
Speaking of popping up, Nick popped up our Holiday Experience Facebook page, and we encourage everyone to go out to Facebook, like that page, and be sure and check back. The events are created there, and quite a bit of activities coming up. I know
we try to put out there the who, what, when, where, to find out. We don't have all the answers, so we try to put all these things together, and on those sites you can be able to go to see the hours, the locations, the cost if there is one, those kind of things. Plus, hopefully, a contact person to reach that site to have all the current information.
Right, because I know a lot of times they contact you or me in the city, and we're not necessarily the organizers of the events. We don't have all the details. We just know, like you said, the time, date, and place.
That's
and they can contact the organization themselves.
That's correct.
By looking at that site. So that is good.
And some things on there that the typical things people talk about, the Black Friday. I mean, I love going out. I don't really shop on Black Friday because I really have nothing to go shopping for. But I love watching.
Your poor wife.
No, we have a pack. we do things together on the shopping, but we love going there and sitting watching the families that have the matching shirts or the matching Santa hats on, or I saw they had bells on their shoes one year. The entire family going out there together. So to us, Black Friday is more of a spectacle to watch the activities. We may go for one or two things we're after. And this year we're also promoting on Saturday, which is American Express is behind. It's called Shop Local Saturday.
Okay.
So not only do you go into your regional outlets and then the big malls and the big boxes and do your shopping, but also focus on those mom and pop stores that have things. And we got some great boutiques in town that are all kinds of things, from athletics to crafts to, I mean, you know, we embrace them all as much as we can. The flea market, you're not be surprised if people come into town just to go flea market shopping. It's incredible.
Tell you what, you can find almost anything in a flea market.
Sure.
And
We used to do as a
Joplin's
family.
large.
We used to do white elephant Christmases as a family every once in a while.
You know, I know a lot of families that still do that,
Yeah, that
and,
was
and
fun.
church groups and different organizations might have a youth group activity. They say bring a white elephant gift. So
And it's a good time, 'cause a lot of those are tied to charities, so it's a good time to give back. And if you can shop there and find something unique, it's a good thing to do. So
yeah, well, that sounds good.
that gets it through much of November, and then plus we have Thanksgiving there, which is a big holiday.
Thanksgiving's a huge holiday. You know, a lot of the grocers I know are out there already marketing some of the activities, or not activity, but the items that they have for sale. And restaurants, I'm sure the local restaurants are really busy that day. I cook at home, so we don't go to the restaurants. So I would
We're cooking
avoid
this
that.
year too, so we're not traveling. So we'll
That's
be home
good.
too. So come by the Onstot house or the Tuttle house and enjoy
We'll
Thanksgiving.
fix you Thanksgiving. That's right.
But moving into December, we kick it off with the parade, and the parade is a big event, and then we follow that by one thing people love is the Ozark Christian College's Living Christmas Tree, and that's just always a fabulous
It
event.
is. Do you know how many years they've been doing
I
that?
have not a clue on how many years it is, but it's been a long
It's an
long
ongoing
time.
event. I
It
know
is.
that.
It is a Joplin tradition. If we had a list of the true Joplin traditions, that would be one of them. And
I agree.
And I would recommend people go to their site for the details, because the pricing and the timing and all those things are there. And I know with the winter months coming up, sometimes we have weather days, and we don't have all the answers for what their weather
Right.
plans are. So
Right.
these local events, go to their sites and find out more about them from there.
Well, I know, aren't there some other concerts and musical events and plays?
There
think
are.
Stained Glass
I
Theater's
think
having
everybody's
something.
doing something through the holidays.
And some of the
and-
churches have different activities.
and some have dinners involved with them
Right,
as well. So.
right. So of course here we're not here to provide every detail of every event, but we do encourage people to go out in their own community and enjoy the local festivities. Sometimes there are local stars among us and we don't even know it.
Yeah, if you see one of those events that you don't on the list, let us know, so we can
Yeah.
add to our list as well.
Right,
Because it's an important
right.
thing to put on there. One thing that I've been looking forward to this year is Dickens Fest, and Dickens Fest will be primarily the 13th of December, but there's activities the 12th, 13th, and 14th. And they're involved this year with the Scottish Rite Temple, so they're taking part of it indoors.
Wow.
Which, if you've been to Dickens Fest, you know, part of it is dealing with the elements, which is great because
Sure.
it's like an old London streetscape. But this year they're doing some neat activities inside the Scottish Rite Temple. So Dickens Fest is hopefully new and improved this year in some activities. And they're embracing all of Murfreesboro. And you know, we've got our favorite spots around the area that we go to look at Christmas tree lights, but Murfreesboro being one of our most historic districts in the community, it's just lovely to see they do those old houses
Right.
and drive through them.
Remind viewers, where is Murfreesburg?
Well, the Murfreesboro district would be Sargent, between 7th Street back to 4th Street, and some of them all the way over to 2nd Street. So
And I know they're trying to expand that area even more. And I think there's been recent meetings about that.
Right,
So some of those historic homes, it's kind of a hopscotch. You know, some of them are really out doing themselves well, you know, as far as the lights and all of that.
That's right.
So, you know, kind of drive up and down those streets.
It's growing. It's people are getting a good interest in those homes back in that area, and the folks that have been the mainstays there for years are definitely involved. But this chance is an opportunity for some new people to come on board as well. And it just getting the historical district designation will allow everybody in that area to get tax credits to do renovations, which
Right.
is going to be just
Right.
fantastic for Joplin to keep those old homes. We don't have there's a lot of older homes in Carthage. The antebellum's not the right word to use, but the older homes that are there, and Joplin's finally catching up with that. It's going
Right.
to be great to have our historical homes preserved, and especially in the holidays when they doll them up even more.
Well, I was talking to Marianne Phillips, who actually our recycling coordinator, and she's, you know, also lives in Murfreesburg and is a big advocate of that organization. You know, I think does a lot with that, with the Dickens Fest. She was telling me that percentage-wise, we have more homes that a lot of cities do in the historic district.
That's
you know, because
excellent.
sometimes, like I said, it's kind of a hopscotch effect of who can be in there, and you know who's been able to fix up their home and that kind of thing. Now, going back to Dickens Fest, as I understand, you said there was Friday night. There's some a dinner, I believe, that people can buy tickets at the door, and
Right.
again, it's on your website, on your Facebook page, that they can look at that.
And a lot of that goes to is for fundraising for other projects that they're doing. So
Right.
again, it's another charity per se
Right.
that's doing some good projects for Joplin.
Well, in Dickens Fest, I have a few of the details. I guess, you know, there's a live nativity scene. There's different dance studios involved, music, fun for the family, pretty much. But like you said, some of it's indoors, some of it's outdoors.
Right.
So they aren't fighting, this will probably be the year that it's a beautiful, beautiful 70-degree December weather, which we do have in Joplin sometimes. So, yeah, so that will be good.
Definitely the mainstays of Dickens Fest will be there, as well as some Shakespearean activities as well.
Yes,
so
the plays. And
it'd be good to see those things.
I always enjoy, that's one of my favorite things to do since they've started. I think it's the 5th year for them, so they've been going really, really strong. Now, I know there's another activity. I'm kind of bouncing around, but I know there's a train that comes into town.
It's the same weekend, or it's the Monday after Dickens Fest. Last year was on the same day, which was kind of confusing. But for the 4th year now, we've gotten the Kansas City Southern Santa Holiday Express coming to town.
Oh my gosh.
And that is really fantastic for them to do that for us. And it parks down by the Union Depot, and it's open roughly 4:30 each. As soon as they get it set up, they got to pull it in and get it set up, ready to go. And it'll run till the last child goes home. And we've had about 3,700 a year go through it.
Oh my gosh.
And it is really amazing. But it is an old-time rail cars that they modified into Santa's workshop. One of them has got trains in it. One's got a ton of Santa figurines and teddy bears in it and things. There's elves are out there. The beautiful engine that they've developed from a tanker car. It's just worth seeing, and it's a great photo op for families bringing the kids down. Santa's going to be there.
Well, I was going to ask, is Santa coming?
Santa's there, and half the time he's brought Mrs. Claus with him too. So
Nice.
she's there some of the times as well. So it's a great photo opportunity for the families to come down. And
well, I think it's great that we've had it for 4 years in a row. I know my kids are older, and they used to see this train occasionally. It wasn't every year that it would come, so we would mark those special years and try to get to that.
It used to be over at Park on 20th Street by Dillon's over there.
Right, that's where we were.
It was a little harder to get to. And 4 years ago, Kansas City Southern built a ramp right to it, so it's easier access to get on and get off of it. And it's
probably better parking. And
it is. The city of Joplin handles all the parking for people to get them in and get them out. And we try to direct them to come in off of B Street there on Main Street to come in that direction, and then they exit onto 4th Street, and it's pretty safe.
Is there a fee? Do families need to pay for this?
Not a dime. It's a gift from Kansas
Oh my
City Southern. In
gosh.
fact, Kansas City Southern, another charity item is they bring a check for the Salvation Army as well every year. So the Salvation Army will be out there with their hot chocolate and coffee for the adults.
Very nice.
It's a great time.
That is, and starting at 4 o'clock.
Last year was freezing cold last year. The first 2 years weren't so bad, but last year was absolutely cold.
Well, I think all of last winter, and talking to people, they remember a very frigid winter. And I know the farmers. I was talking to a gentleman who has cows, and he said calves were having a hard time in that winter.
Dress warm.
Yes.
Dress warm.
Yes, dress warm for sure. Hot chocolate can keep you warm for only so long. So.
And we have nothing really made. We got a couple of events on New Year's Eve that are planned. There is a run that day. The YMCA has a chili 5K. It's a good event. But a lot of folks, there's a lot of the restaurants are having New Year's Eve parties, and a couple of churches are doing some New Year's Eve activities. But once we get to New Year's Eve, our holiday experience is basically done and put to the books until we get to next year.
Time to put your feet up and do nothing else, right?
Yeah. 2014 will be a slow year, I'm sure. Or 2015 will be a slow year, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I know you're already planning for 2015. Well, I know we talked a little bit about the local experience, and you do a lot of work in promoting the holiday experience, so to speak. But throughout the year, what types of activities is the CVB involved in?
Well, like I said, we do most of our promoting of the area outside of Joplin. So we're out in regional magazines and national magazines. I have a director of sales who attends about 7 major conferences a year, and she focuses on certain groups that are planning events to bring them to Joplin. We spent the last 2 years doing a lot of work on what's called group travel, and that's a lot of the bus people that travel this area between St. Louis and Oklahoma City or Wichita and Branson or whatever, in different areas, and trying to get them to stop in Joplin and spend some time here. And a lot of them will just, we have a #1 Cracker Barrel, #1 Golden Corral on customer service for a reason, because people stop here a lot and the bus services. But it's also the local hospitality that wins people over a lot, and those two establishments do a lot of good. And some of these bus tours want to have something that's local, so we connect with them on Route 66. And it's a neat thing that you can pull off in Miami or you can pull off in Joplin, and you can ride Route 66 for 38 miles. So Route 66 is a very important tourism destination for us. We see about 12,000 Europeans a year that come through here, and a host of Asians that come through as well. So these group travel folks are trying to get these bus tours to spend more time in this area, stay the night, or at least dine, or fill their gas tank up, or whatever, and be a part of it. So we're spending a lot of effort on reaching out to these folks. And
well, Route 66, I think there's a couple new murals downtown that I've noticed that are Route 66 themed. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there is the Mall Park, as it used to be called, next to Pearl Brothers, had been vacant for many years, and 2 years ago we started working with tiles and images and put up 2 Route 66 murals. And there's an upper one and a lower one, and they depict Joplin in the upper mural, and the lower mural is just a map of Route 66. So the idea with the lower one primarily is that tourists coming through the area can photograph themselves. And what we're finding through social media and Route 66 is a lot of folks are identifying these must-see locations. You must go there.
Right,
so
which is nice.
I had a great time there. Here's my picture. Here's my happy snap. And then my next friend who's traveling with 66 or coming to Missouri got to be here as well.
Right.
So we're not only we're highlighting Joplin through these new murals, which we have 9 murals downtown now, which is amazing.
This is the one they're showing now is the map mural, and that's located at the Mall Park. Is that what you called it?
Now it's been renamed Route 66 Mural Park. Okay. It's right next to Pearl Brothers. It's actually on the south wall, south exterior wall of Pearl Brothers. And this is called the American Ribbon because of the road going through that connects the Americas. Route 66 is the Mother Road, or it's also Main Street America, and so we've dubbed this the American Ribbon.
Right, and then they had the Corvette. There's the top mural of that, right?
And Cruisin' Joplin is what this one is entitled. And you're right, the lower one's got a 64 Corvette up against it for a photo opportunity as well.
Right.
And this is just a large welcome banner. 7th and Main is Route 66, so people make that turn coming in from Kansas. They'll see these murals here and welcome here. And this actually pictures before the Corvette was installed.
That's what I was going to say. That looks before that Corvette, because I know they had a picture earlier on screen when we were talking of the Corvette, and it's kind of surprising. The secret is that that's not a full Corvette if you go there,
it's actually a shell from a 64 Corvette dragster. It's actually one that was cut fabricated in half. It wasn't cut in half. Anybody who's a Corvette purist would have a cow if I was to cut a 64 Corvette in half.
True. There it is on screen again.
Yes.
So,
and the odds of finding a 64 Corvette intact are slim as well.
Yeah.
So we worked with a guy who develops dragster bodies, and that's actually, if you were looking at it closely, the back wheel well is bigger, and then the nose snoop is a little bit different. And
those people that really know cars would recognize that.
But standing up against it sideways and looking at the mural, you cannot tell it's the
right. And so it makes, like you said, a great picture out.
That's right. And our good buddies at 4 State Trucks, which do Chrome Shop Mafia, did all the work for us. It was a pure black shell, and they made it what it looked like is today with the chrome and everything. They did a fantastic job for us.
It is wonderful. It's very nice. And like you said, it's very easy to find. If you are here living in the Joplin area, be sure and stop by. I mean, like you said, it's just south of Pearl Brothers on the
exterior wall.
Yeah.
And it's for the community. I mean, it just shows Joplin, and we have not done a lot of Route 66 in the years before this, and we're doing a lot of different effort. We're looking at some projects on Broadway. We're going to have next month, we're going to, through the Historical Preservation Group, going to put together a meeting of folks who live on Broadway and find out what they would like to see as far as Route 66 and Broadway development goes. So we're looking at trying to expand some of our palette that is Route 66 and do some cool things.
Well, and I can imagine because Joe Becker is being expanded, it's being renovated, and that's fairly close to Broadway, just a couple blocks. So it's all going to kind of blend together. It's
part of the Broadway community. I mean, there's more, Joe Becker has more of a connection with Broadway than it does with 4th Street, even though it's kind of in the middle there. And we're looking at that entire area because people who are traveling Route 66 and Americana is what they're after, and what's more Americana than baseball?
I agree.
So as Joe Becker Stadium is developed, and we can do some things there that we can relate to, just not during the baseball time frame, but otherwise. And if people do connect their travels with a professional baseball game, then hopefully they stay in Joplin, have a meal in Joplin, and do more activities here.
Well, I know CVB was instrumental in helping fund some of the renovation, and we do appreciate that. How does your funding come in? How are you funded?
We're 100% funded by the local lodging tax. So the 4% tax that is on every hotel room, the 23 properties we have in the Joplin tax base, is purely what we work off of. We don't touch any general funds whatsoever in operation, staff, operating costs, grants we give out, advertising. It's all done off the hotel
So your
tax.
budget can grow by bringing more people. Your budget grows.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. We try to replenish that and plus also grow it at the same time.
Sure, sure. So, well, we were talking a little bit about the buses coming into town and people, your sales director, Aaron, going out and trying to get the bus tours and just different meetings. If someone locally is a member of a group that wants to bring a district meeting or a regional state meeting here of their organization, how would they do that?
We would love to have that happen, and that makes a lot of sense because we all attend different professional conventions throughout the year, and why not bring that home? Why not bring it here? And I'd love for them to come and talk to us, talk to myself or Erin, and sit down with her and find out what we can do to bring it to town, because we may not be able to handle that big 6,000 person
Right.
convention, but every association has smaller regional meetings or they have executive level meetings and things. We do a great job of hosting here. We're branching out to the medical side. We have never really marketed for medical conventions, but with Mercy Hospital coming online in a very unique new state-of-the-art facility,
Right.
we want to help promote that. So we're working closely with Mercy on what we can do once it opens and showcase certain entities that they have internally, or maybe some of their product lines that they have there that,
Sure.
I don't know, GM's got something new, G-Whiz tool in there. Let's showcase it at Joplin Mercy and put it out there. So.
Well, that's a great idea.
Yeah, we would love to have anybody who's got an idea of a conference to bring it to us, and let's talk about it. And whether it's quilts or it is brain surgeons, let's talk about it.
Well, I know there for a while, when I was over in Carthage, the Dulcimer group was a large group. So, I mean, music, cars, there's certain things that resonate in this area that people really flock to. We have some car shows coming up in 2015.
We've already, ironically enough, we had the 50-year anniversary of the Mustang last year, and next year we have what's called the Green Register of Mustangs. Anybody who's got a green Mustang is part of this register. There's actually
Now that is unique. I hadn't heard that.
I hadn't either till just recently, and one of our Mustang associates found this for us. And there's actually a red one, there's a black one, there's a blue one, there's a white one.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't just distinguish the green ones. You have to do them all.
All of them. So they're going to be here on June 4th. The Corvette Club is going to be here on June 4th, separate event. And we're working with Hot Rod Magazine to bringing in about 3,000 hot rods that are on a 5-day crisscross of America on June 4th.
June 4th.
All 3 events are going to be coming in different locations.
There must be something with the automotive world that June 4th is
I don't know what the
magic.
crystal ball was, but it's there. So we're working to close all these deals. These are all kind of tentatively on the table right now, and we're trying to finalize them. And one group will be downtown, while one group's at the Trade Center, while one group's out here on the campus.
Well, you did that recently too. We just we had bikes and we had hot rods.
That's right. Well, that's that same weekend. It was just, that was 4 different events, and so will this be the same thing this year? So I'm sure something else on June 4th will pop up.
Well, sure, something fun, something fun. So
but that's good. But mark your calendar. If you're into cars, June 4th of next year will be a date worth marking on your calendar.
Okay.
And we're also looking. You mentioned about the Dulcimers. We're looking at what is that Joplin sound. We're trying to. We're with Boomtown Days not coming back as it was. There's another group that's talking about how to resurrect that and bring that back to life. But we've been trying to null around in the office of what is Joplin's sound. You have the Austin city limits, and you have the Tulsa sound, and you have associate different areas of different music. We're trying to find what that Joplin sound is. So we've been kind of on our own, talking to some of the local bands and trying to find out what they call it. And we're kind of resonating on the term Ozark Stomp, which the Ben Miller Band is I've been told is coined. And Ozark Stomp, it's a mixture of the bluegrass, the red dirt, the dulcimers, and all that. So
and some blues. We do have blues,
things.
yeah.
It's all of that together. And so we're trying to find out how we can make that into a little music event of some sort. And it's one of the projects we're mulling around and trying to see where that would fit at, and as far as the calendar goes.
Well, that sounds like a really unique kind of fun thing, because it seems like when we have music, people are drawn to. I know different local pubs and bars have musical groups come through all of the time, and it seems like they sell out. And so some of the popular local bands are getting out further and farther. Well,
if we could pull it off and do the right thing would be is having an event in one of the parks, but a couple days before that, do smaller events in our local pubs or local restaurants and kind of just make it a week of it without having to have a big grand event.
Sure. So, well, let's go back just a little bit for the holiday events for those who may just be tuning in. November 20th kicks off the unveiling of City Hall windows, the big festive kind of holiday display like Newman's used to do, for those that remember the Newman's department store. That starts at 6, then at 6:30 they go down to where?
Spiva Park.
Spiva Park.
Right
and
across
that's
from the library.
Okay.
And have the official Christmas tree lighting.
Okay, that's very nice, and I know that's always fun. Our Parks and Rec.
Our Parks and Rec guys do a fantastic job on that, and they decorate the fern tree down there. And
I know the
decorate
big
it.
sleigh has been out there before.
Yep.
Another good photo op for families.
What they're doing this year, I have no idea. But
Yeah, I haven't really
always
talked to
surprise
Paul.
us.
They always do. They do a great job. So, you know, they always enter that cardboard boat race
Yeah.
out at Audubon Center. So they always have some creative things going, but under their hat. That's why it's an unveiling, right? So
Well, back to the windows. I mean, it is the Newman building is an old department store, and so it's kind of like the Macy's depiction. And and I think it's good for the city to utilize that space that we have as those windows to show the community a Christmas story of some sort, Christmas theme. And I hope the public comes down, and it'll be there through New Year's Eve. So it's just not one weekend; it's all the time. So if you have family in town visiting for the holidays, bring them downtown and show them. And plus, downtown's a great place to walk. It's a very safe community. It's a great
yeah.
great
There's local restaurants. There are a lot of nice shops. There's a lot of fun things to do there. And again, that park, Spiva Park, is beautiful. So, and then of course you mentioned Macy's. I think of the parade when I think of Macy's. So December 2nd.
No balloons, but
no balloons.
December 2nd will be that the first Tuesday of December.
Yep.
And I hope we have a lot of bands up there and everything going on as well.
Yep, there's your CVB website, I believe.
That is visit joplinmo.com.
Yes.
And in the middle there, the hot news is with the events coming up, or you can click on there on the right side and go to even more events as well.
Okay.
So.
Okay, yeah, there's all sorts of, if people are looking, if they're going to have a house full and they don't have a place to stay, they can find hotels there, they can find restaurants, everything, I always laugh about being a tourist in your own hometown.
Yep.
Because sometimes, it took me to move away from St. Louis to go up in the Arch. So go figure, right?
Well, leisure travel is a very important part for our hotels and our sites and all. And there's a piece of leisure travel that is your local leisure. And it is, Joplin is the hub for retail, for education, for medical, and so on. And those folks that come into town from our neighboring communities, they want to have dinner. They want to see a show. That's why we're here for it. It's what's important about it. So we recognize that even though we market outside of Joplin, we've got to also support the folks that come into town to do things. And what's to do in Joplin? Well, hopefully we have the answers for that.
That's right. That's right. So for viewers out there, be sure and check out the Facebook page for the holiday experience, as well as the Joplin CVB. Their website is visitjoplinmo.com. So I appreciate you being here. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the CVB or some upcoming events?
I just think people need to connect with us socially and get on social media, and we have a lot of activities there, and we like to have feedback as well. So if there's something that we're not doing, we like to know
if they're interested in something or have an idea, and again, if you're interested in bringing a meeting to town, that you can help them kind of through the process of what needs to be done, and how you help coordinate that.
Happy to, more than happy to.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Well, that concludes this this airing of Joplin Insider, and I do appreciate you being with us today. Please join us next time, and I'll see you then. Thank you.